Hey guys, so today I've got my April favorites, which is actually more like my recent favorites because I didn't do favorites for March. We were talking about the Sephora sale at the beginning of April, so I just decided to skip it last month. So this is more of like a recent favorites. And I think skipping last month was the first time I ever skipped doing a monthly favorites ever since I started doing beauty YouTube, I think. Anyway, yeah, it felt strange. And when I was going back on my videos to try and figure out like what my favorites were, kind of just reminding myself or whatever, I was like, oh my God, I've got like 2 months to go back on. So we've got quite a few products. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. What I like to do is do cutaways to me applying as many of these products on my face as possible. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing I want to mention are these earrings. I got these earrings a while ago. I vlogged them and they're from Her Jewelry. And they're just these really simple, like silver finish huggies. And they've got crystals on the front and they just open and snap shut and crystals in the front. Now, as you guys know, I wear a lot of gold, but I wanted just like a simple pair of silver toned earrings that I could wear when I had silver toned things on, or if it felt like that was a little bit more appropriate for whatever it was I was wearing, or the makeup I had on, if it was cooler toned. So I found these online. I was just kind of doing a search, ran across this brand, this online store, and never ordered anything from them before. And the shipping was great. I love the quality of these earrings. I have slept in them. I've taken them on and off several times. I've showered with them on. Like they're really, really great. They're a nice weight. They're not too heavy. They open and close very, very easily, but it's not too loose so that I feel like I'm afraid that they may just kind of like fall open. That has never happened. So I'm just really, really happy with these. And if you guys have seen me wearing any kind of like silver tone huggies, these have probably been the one. So anyway, I will link to them, of course, down below in my description box if you're interested. But yeah, I just really enjoy them. Just super basic, everyday silver huggies. And then one perfume I want to mention, which I forgot to bring downstairs before I started filming, I'll flash a picture of it up here, is the new Jo Malone Bitter Mandarin. I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale. And, you know, I have so many perfumes and I thought, do I really need to get another Jo Malone citrus scented perfume? And I love it. I'm so glad I picked it up. I have been wearing it nonstop. It reminds me very much of the Guerlain Erba Fresca, their Aqua Allegoria Erba Fresca, but it's not quite as light and sweet. Like there's a little bit more of the citrus kind of like sourness to it, and it lasts a lot longer than the Herba Fresca. The Herba Fresca is like very, very light in many ways, just like its intensity, but also its wear time. It pretty much fades by the end of the day for me, but the Bitter Mandarin, I can smell it on me like the next morning. If I put it on, like I put it on this morning, when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll still be able to smell it on me. And I really enjoy it. And it dries down like a little bit differently than when you first apply, at least on my skin. It dries down, but it's not like it ever loses its freshness. I feel like there's a lot of citrus fragrances out there that have these heavier base notes. Either they're very woody or they're musky. And by the time they dry down, you know, like midday, all of the lighter kind of top notes have faded and you're kind of left with more of a musk. And it doesn't happen with this Jo Malone. Like the citrus is still there, but it just sort of evolves as the day goes on. So it really starts pretty bright, a little bit sweet, and then it kind of like morphs into more of like an orange peel and like that kind of bitter, but there's still that citrus, that like brightness to it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I have been, like I said, I've been wearing that nonstop. So I just wanted to mention that perfume. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into like all of the makeup and everything that I have been loving these past couple of months. Okay, first the primer that I have on today, which is one that I've whipped out recently because it's been getting warmer here and it's been getting very, very sunny. So this is the Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45 Primer. And I have talked about this on my channel a number of times. I don't even know what tube I'm on. This is probably my third tube, but this is a primer that you need to shake. It is very, very thin, but I love the fact that it has SPF 45. That's fantastic. But as a makeup primer, it is really wonderful. It is very, very smoothing And I feel like if this is all I want to put on, it's so smoothing that I feel like there's even a little bit of blurring going on, that there's like a little bit of skin perfection going on with just this primer. So it's great for, you know, a first step before you're going to put foundation down, but it's also really, really great all on its own. And I remember maybe the first 2 tubes of this that I got, there was a very strong SPF scent, and it almost smelled, I think I remember thinking it smelled like pickles. But they have done something. I don't think they've like completely reformulated this, because I don't see any changes in terms of how it looks on my skin or how it behaves, but it just doesn't smell. It doesn't have that smell anymore, which is great. I didn't really mind it. I mean, I know when I say it smelled like pickles, that sounds terrible. But yeah, it just didn't really bother me. It faded fairly quickly, but now it doesn't smell like anything at all, which is really, really interesting. So anyway, so that's the Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection primer. And yeah, I really, you know, I should probably wear it all year round, but I always think of this during the spring, summertime. And in terms of foundation, I had to mention the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation. This has been reformulated, repackaged and everything. I have it in the shade B10, which is light beige. This does have SPF 25 in here. And this is not quite an ounce tube. It's 0.88 ounces. It's 21 mils. And I was a little skeptical at first, but it is so highly pigmented that you really don't need a lot of this. So it's got that kind of pointy tip, squeezy tube applicator, and you just need to squeeze out like a little bit. I would say like, I don't know, like a half an inch. And that's all I need. You can definitely get like a medium coverage with this, but I just put on the light layer and I get this really nice light medium coverage. And there's just something about this foundation where it really smooths out my skin. It makes my skin look so soft and like plush and just really, really airbrushed, but it doesn't look heavy at all. I just really, really love the way that it makes my skin, not just in terms of like what we think a normal foundation does, which is just coverage, which is just like blanking out all of your, all of the redness, the freckles, everything, just kind of like starting with a blank slate. This does like a little bit more. This really kind of enhances like the texture of my skin. It just really makes my skin, like I keep saying, it just makes it look really soft and youthful and just really perfected in like a different way, in kind of like a blurring, soft kind of way. So yeah, just really been loving this. So that's the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation. And I know many of you are going to ask me about the Wayne Goss Cream Foundation, which I really, really enjoyed. But I'm going to tell you guys, I am just not a cream foundation person. And I think I mentioned it when I was vlogging with it. You know, it looked great on the skin. I had no problem applying it. I used it a couple days just as concealer, the lighter shade that I have, shade 10. I used that as concealer. It looked great. I just never reach for a cream foundation. I'm so used to using like a liquid kind of foundation, a foundation that I can kind of squeeze out, one that I can like work into my skin. Yeah, there's just something about cream foundation. I just don't feel like I'm going to reach for it, even though I thought it looked great on my skin, even though, you know, I didn't need a lot of it and it was easy to use, like all the things. But it's just, yeah, it's just something about cream foundation I just never really like reach for. I just much prefer like a serum or like a liquid or something. So anyway, I do think it's a wonderful foundation. It just didn't land in this this particular favorites video because I just haven't been reaching for it, other than like, oh, let me test it for this, let me test it for that. Like I personally haven't been like, oh, I gotta use that foundation today. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. But moving on, so concealer, I've just been using the Dior Backstage concealer, shade 1N. I've been using it probably in almost every single video the past couple of months, ever since I got it. It's wonderful. Where is it? Why am I not holding it up? Oh, here it is. It's really great. It's got a brush applicator. I just think it goes on really smoothly. It's creamy. There's just nothing, no complaints, like absolutely no complaints. It doesn't crease. The coverage for me is decent. I don't think it's like super high, super thick coverage. I just think it does a decent job, just kind of like bringing down any kind of discoloration I have underneath my eyes. It dampens like the deepness of my big freckles over here. So yeah, I'm just continuing to love this concealer. Since we're on things that I've just been loving, nothing new here, powder. I've just been using the Say Loose powder. It's really great. It's much like the Clé de Peau foundation in that it just makes my skin look so soft. It just gives my skin like this soft satin finish. And I love it. And I don't need a lot. I just tap out the like tiniest bit into the cap and I just put it like underneath my eyes. And then whatever I have left on my brush, I just put it all on, you know, the rest of my face. And that's it. That's all I need. So still loving that powder. Something new, which I'm sure if you guys watched me try this product on, you knew that it was going to end up in my favorites. This is the By Terry Brightening CC Liquid Blush in number 2, Sunny Glow. So this is what I have on as a blush today. And I've been playing around with how to apply this because if you did watch that video, when I used the other colorway, which I actually haven't played around with since that video because I've just been really, really enamored with this shade. But what happened was I felt like it was going on a little bit patchy, like it just wasn't setting down in certain parts of my cheek. And I thought, well, let me try it, you know, without powder. Let me try it with powder underneath. Let me try powdering on top. Let me try layering. You know, I was trying all these different techniques with liquid products. And what I found with this product is if I do put down a light layer of loose powder and then I just squeeze some out onto the back of my hand and then I pick some up with my brush. And then today I just used my foundation brush, which is the Clé de Peau foundation brush. And I just sort of stamp it onto my cheeks. That's how I get the most even diffused application. Like I don't have any like bald spots like I had when I first played around with this. So some would kind of ding this product for, you know, the fact that I had to like play around with it, but the payoff is the return on investment is so, so high because it is so gorgeous. The sheen to this product is so smooth and, you know, it's obviously like a very highlighty kind of product, but I don't feel like when you're looking at me, you're not like, whoa, what's on her cheeks? It's, you know, obvious, but it's not in your face. Like it's just so, yeah, it's just so smooth and beautiful. And the shade is so perfect. Like I love a warm, bronzy tone for blush, especially in the summertime, because I feel like it blends into bronzer really nicely. It blends into highlight really nicely, which I'll talk about in a second. And it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. This does have that very, very ever-present By Terry Rose fragrance in there. I love the By Terry Rose fragrance. I don't mind. If you do mind that, you probably will want to stay away from this product. I feel like by the time I was done with all my makeup, I could still smell it. So that's how present it is. By now, it's pretty much faded. It's probably been like another, 20, 30 minutes since I first put it on. But I would say that's the only thing that I feel like I need to point out to you. Other than that, I just think it is gorgeous. Look at how smooth my cheek looks. I can't believe it. Anyway, this has been the perfect pair with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Multi-Glow Dream Light. And Romance Light is the highlighter I will use. It's lighter and it's cooler. And that's a highlight I use if I am, if I have a cooler makeup look. If I have like a pinky blush on, I'll reach for that highlighter. But this one with this blush is like the combination. I am really, really digging this combination. I feel like they just go together really well. Actually, I have to lean my head down. Here's the highlight. Right here. And it just like moves into this blush like beautifully, perfectly. I just kind of like buff the highlight like over the blush a little bit and it's seamless. It's gorgeous. So this is the deeper, warmer one compared to Romance Light. So this is Dream Light and there's like 4 different stripes of colors in here. I just kind of brush my highlight brush throughout all of the 4 colors. I don't really kind of like concentrate in any one area. And I thought for sure it was going to be way too deep. But again, I think it just blends into this like kind of bronzy, peachy blush beautifully. I love it. I don't think my cheeks have ever looked this like glowy and smooth and just youthful and like slightly bronzy and super healthy All the things, all the things. I love, love, love this combination. The bronzer that I've been going hard with, I was like, oh, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I actually mentioned this in my Sephora recommendations. And this is the latest Guerlain Terracotta bronzer. So this one is called, they're also similar, the Sun Kissed Healthy Glow Powder. And this is in the shade 00. So this is light cool. I also have light warm, which is 01, and it's too warm. This one is more neutral. I wouldn't even say it's too cool, like you could use it as a contour. It's just a little bit more neutral than like the typical Guerlain bronzers, which I find to be very, very warm. So I really enjoy this. This does have a slight fragrance to it, not too bad. It definitely it fades more quickly than the By Terry. But this is what I have basically like all over my forehead. I didn't put too much here because of all of this that I had on. I just basically kind of put it like down my nose. I brushed it maybe a little bit on my cheeks, but it's really on my forehead, down my neck, underneath my chin and everything. So really been enjoying this bronzer. But let's move on to, oh, I actually had another blush. I did want to mention the Say liquid blush that I got. These are the Dew cheek blushes and, I'm sorry, the Dew blush. And they had sent me two of their newer colors, which were Spicy and Chili, I believe. And I was going really, really hard with Chili. It's kind of this cooler toned pinky shade. And so during the Sephora VIB sale, I was like, I gotta get more. I really love the formula. I love the shade selection that they have. So I decided to go with Poppy since I really enjoy a bright blush, especially in the spring, summertime. And this is actually what I put on when I went to that Nevada Ballet ball. And I just love it. It just gives you such a beautiful, beautiful glow to your cheek. And I know it looks scary, but once you blend it in, it's just this perfect flush. It's so gorgeous. And I just use like 3 dots of the Dew blush. That's all you need. It's very, very, very pigmented. So I wanted to mention this, even though I think I've mentioned these Dew blushes before, but I wanted to mention this specific shade, Poppy, because it's just perfect for the summertime. And now we've come to the most exciting, controversial part of this video. I'm just kidding. The Dior Show Onset Brow. This brow gel, I love, and I'm just gonna say it. I love this more than the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. I said it. The Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, I love. I do love it. But I think they've reformulated it, and I think many of you agree with me. It's just not fibery anymore. There just isn't a lot of plumping that's going on. It's just a great gel. It still has a great texture. It's not too wet. It's not too thick. It goes on really beautifully. I love the shade Granite. Works great for me. But this has microfibers in there, and so it plumps up my brows just a little bit better than the newer Fiber Brow Gel. And I have been using this nonstop ever since I picked it up, and it is fantastic. So I have the shade Dark Brown, which is 032. I love it. I really think it's toppled the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel for me from its top position. Let me just show you the spoolie. It's just a basic teeny tiny eyebrow gel spoolie. Nothing fancy there. I like these. I don't like the really, really small ones because I have pretty long, God, I don't have bushy eyebrows. I have brow hairs that are very long and unruly, and the little brushes just don't, I can't like get my hair. So anyway, I love the size of the spoolie. This shade, this dark brown, is a really nice dark brown. It's cool toned. So I don't have like orangey brown brows, which I really don't like. And yeah, that's all I have in my brow set. I don't have any pencil or anything. So I love it. Like I really, really love this brow gel. It's very good. Very, very good. I did also want to mention the Westman Atelier Bone Brow. If you are like a pencil person, you're really not into brow gels, I have really been enjoying this one. So I have it in the shade Slate. So this is the very cool toned dark, dark, dark brown. It's almost like what you would consider a granite. So this brow pencil is, it's hard, like the texture of it is hard. What I love about this, and I don't know, I really don't know if it is. I think it's actually just like a typical kind of brow pencil in terms of its formulation, but it comes off, you can probably see it in here, it comes off like a powder pencil. It doesn't need that much working in of the spoolie, you know, it just kind of looks diffused already. And that's what I loved. When I first used it, I was like, oh wow, like it just looks really, really, it looks like you've already run the spoolie through. And of course, there is a spoolie in case you want to do a little bit more of that. But yeah, I just really loved like the powdery effect of the pencil. And that's just me just scraping the pencil on the back of my hand. So you can see how cloudy it looks, how like dusty it looks already. And yeah, it's just perfect for brows. Love it. So that is the Bone Brow eyeshadow. I don't have much to talk about other than the Patrick Ta palette. This is the Major Dimension 2 palette. And I've been using this cream shadow often as like a one and done shadow. So I have it all over my lid today. And then today I just threw this matte shadow just in the inner corner of my eyes here, just to kind of like lighten it up a little bit. And also to kind of help blend out the cream shadow. But this palette is just really beautiful. You can create so many different looks, so many different vibes from this palette. You can stick to the lighter shades down here if you just want like a really light, natural, easy look. You can just do an all matte shade if you don't want to get too glitzy for work, let's say, or just cocktails or something. Or an evening out, just add some of those glitters on top. Just really, really pretty. I was really surprised. I don't know why. I really love the first palette that Patrick Ta came out with, but I was really surprised at how often I reach for this. This has pretty much just been sitting out on my vanity. I like to put my all my makeup away, so I'm like forced to kind of go through my collection all the time. But this I've just left out, mainly for this cream shadow. It's kind of been like a base for me for even other shadows, not even just these shadows. And then, yeah, I feel like I just have a plethora of options in this palette. So really been enjoying both of his palettes, but this one more lately. And then mascara. You guys know I don't talk about mascara very often, but this new mascara from Isam, the mascara, they sent this to me and I was like, okay, great, mascara. I'm not like a mascara fiend in any way, but I love this mascara. It makes my lashes look really, really full, but there's like zero clumpiness. It has like the most even like layer or like even application to each lash, because I have really wimpy lashes, if you couldn't tell. Very, very wimpy lashes, and they're also very stick straight. So this is curled, and this mascara has pretty much kept the curl, which is like my number one thing. That I feel like that's the first thing I look at. As soon as I put the mascara on, I check. I'm like, are my lashes falling? My lashes are still curled, and yeah, and I generally go for like separating, lengthening mascaras because again, my lashes are just so wimpy that generally if I use like a thickening mascara, what ends up happening is it's just too clumpy. It just, in some spots on my lashes, it'll look thick at the base. At others, it'll look thick at the tip. Like no matter how many times I like go through it, and I feel like you reach that point with mascara where you're going through it too much and you're making it clumpier and clumpier. I don't have that problem with this. I feel like there's just such a nice, even layer of mascara. It's just like, it's really smooth, but it's not wet in any way. It's just a great, great formula. I really am enjoying it very, very much. So that is the Isam, the mascara. And then we have a ton of lip products. I really had to cut this down. There were probably a few more that I was gonna mention, but I was like, let's just really edit this down. So we're gonna start with the Hermes lip oils. If you guys saw that video, I was not that excited about these, and I wasn't even gonna pick them up. And one of my subscribers, one of my lovely subscribers, thank you so much, mentioned that Hermes actually created a different fragrance for each one. And I was like very intrigued at that point. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna pick them up. Why not? And I love them. I love the colors. I love the texture of these lip oils. I will definitely leave a link to this video down below that I'm referring to because I try all of them on. And I don't have it on today. This is probably the first day I haven't just thrown them on. And I've always had this one in my purse. This is probably the most neutral one. So this one is number 5, Rose Cola. This is the one that smells like Coca-Cola. It's cola nut, but it smells like Coca-Cola. And I love the scent of Coca-Cola. In fact, I have my Killian Boys travel size sitting here. I'm so pissed they don't sell this in America anymore, but yes, love, love, love cola. Anyway, I've had this sitting in my purse. I swapped it out for this shade, this coral shade. They're just great. I mean, I'll hold them all up. They're just really, really great. They have a really nice level of pigmentation, not too much, not too light where you're like, why did I even bother? And they're just fun. Like I really love all of the different scents. Really, really love them all. And they feel wonderful on the lips on top of it. So the formula is really great. Not too thick, not too thin. I know they're called something like a lip care, lip oil, something. Basically, they're like a lip oil. They don't feel terribly oily though. They don't feel too glossy either. They're kind of like a light, like a thin gloss. And I really enjoy that. They're just, yeah, just really comfortable. And like I said, the pigmentation is there. It obviously looks like you have something on your lips, but it's not too much. Just a lot of fun. And yeah, I've just really, really been enjoying that. And I'm so glad that I ended up purchasing all of them because I have been getting pretty decent use out of all of them. And then the other lip gloss I wanted to mention is the Victoria Beckham lip glosses. So this shade in Poolside is the one that I have been going pretty hard with. I really like this kind of cool toned, mauvey, slightly brown kind of shade. It's very, very, it's very pretty. It's very, very pretty. It's very subtle on my lips. It looks great with a cooler tone like makeup look. The finish of this is really nice too. It's not like hyper glossy where your lips look just like overly shiny. It's just this really nice kind of like satin kind of finish. And I really enjoyed it. Great, great texture. And I love actually all of the shades. I pretty much picked up all of them except for the clear, but just like this beautiful like nude family. But this is the one that I've been reaching for the most. So that is Poolside. And then lipsticks. So I had, like I said, I had quite a few in this category. So these are all like sheerer, easy to wear, comfortable lip products. Some of them have a little bit more shine than others. The one that I'm wearing has quite a bit of shine, as you can see, and that is the Sicily, I think Fito Rouge Shine is the name of it. And I'm wearing shade number 10, Sheer Nude. So this has a little bit of, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little bit of glittery bits in there, which add even more to the shine. But I love the finish of this lipstick and I love this shade. I love how comfortable it is. I love how like my lips feel after I take it off. It's like that perfect lip product. I really enjoy these. I have some other shades, but this number 10 is definitely the most like neutral and the one I reach for the most. I also wanted to mention the Pat McGrath Nude Romantic. This was part of the Bridgerton 2 collection. So this is the shade, and this is definitely much more pigmented than this Sicily that I'm wearing, but it is so comfortable on the lips. There's something incredibly, incredibly moisturizing about this formula. And it's like, it's a soft formula without it being too soft, where it doesn't feel like it's just kind of like melting all over your lips. It's just really, really comfortable. And I was kind of surprised. I don't know. Like I love Pat McGrath lip products. So I don't know why when I put this on, I was like, whoa, what is happening here? There's just something extra special about this particular formula. Just really, really comfortable and nourishing on the lips. So wanted to mention that formula, but that shade that I have, this Nude Romantic, is really lovely. And then the last one I wanted to mention is from Dries. So I bought 4 different lip colors because there's 4 different interchangeable cases. So these are all like refills. Basically you just pull out and then you can kind of push back in. Anyway, I love, love, love this shade. Actually, I should have left this out because the color is on here. This is sheer number 3. Again, like just another really perfect sheer kind of lipstick for the spring, summer. And I love this nude shade. It is very much like this shade, just without like the shine and those little micro glitters in there. So this is like a subdued version of the Sicily. So yeah, just really been wearing that, reaching for that a lot. And is that it? Are those all? I really edited it down, didn't I? I sure did. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the Dior Addict Shine. I can't keep track of all the names. Yeah, it's one that I recently hauled. Anyway, it's very similar to these, so I put that back in my drawer. I do love that one. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what some of your favorite products have been over the past month or so. I would love to hear from you. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.